Good morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream, and I'm going to do our February the 18th, just for today, in a meditation. Hope you're doing well today. The title of today's meditation, The Recovery Partnership. As long as I take it easy and make a commitment with my higher power to do the best I can, I know I will be taken care of today. Many of us feel that our fundamental commitment in recovery is to our higher power, knowing that we lack the power to stay clean and find recovery on our own. We enter into a partnership with a power greater than we are. We make a commitment to live in the care of our higher power, and in return, our higher power guides us. This partnership is vital to staying clean. Making it through the early days of recovery often feels like the hardest thing we've ever done. But the strength of our commitment to recovery and the power of God's care is sufficient to carry us through just for today. Our part in this partnership is to do the very best we can each day, showing up for life and doing what's put in front of us, applying the principles of recovery to the best of our ability. We promise to do the best we can, not to fake it, not to pretend to be superhuman, but simply to do the footwork of recovery. In fulfilling our part of the recovery partnership, we experience the care our higher power has provided us. Just for today, I will honor my commitment to a partnership with my higher power. Let's take a moment of silence, followed by the we version of the Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. Thank you, God. Grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Just for today, please and thank you. What a powerful meditation, talking about the recovery partnership. And I do agree. I really do agree with the fact that, it was obvious to me when I first got here that I couldn't have found recovery by myself. There were some things that had to happen. The gift of desperation had to be given for me to become open-minded enough. We talked about that yesterday, open-minded enough to listen long enough to see if what I was hearing sounded like something that I should be a part of. That in itself was a process, and is for many of us. Many of us are still in that investigation stage. We're still watching and listening and somehow rationalizing or reasoning within ourselves that I might need this for a little bit, but after a while, when I get better, I'm not going to need this program. Um, but one of the things that happens is that we get such a level of freedom to be human that many of us, we don't want to give that up, right? Not that we necessarily have one clean day, right? Not necessarily like me. I don't have one sponsor. It's not necessary that you get one sponsor, stay with them forever. I mean, it's ideal if you can, but that wasn't my story, isn't my story, right? I'm so judgmental, right? Very difficult to sponsor, I think, today, right? I look back and think, wow, I was really difficult, right? So it's not that everything about getting into recovery is just so beautiful, right? But there is something to be said for the level of freedom that I felt that I could finally make a mistake. I could finally be wrong. Here's one. I could finally be right and not have to have some big stage show over every single event in my life, right? Being wrong or making a mistake didn't require that I'm I wanted to drink myself into oblivion and pop pills and not wake up tomorrow. No, because I had heard enough around the rooms that many of people had done the same thing. And they were still right there in the meetings, recovering their tails off. And I realized that, when they say it's time to turn off the butt kicking machine, they were talking about me because I was my worst enemy. And I treated myself far worse than anyone ever could. So I began to learn that it was okay to be human, to make mistakes, to admit that I didn't have all the answers. And that level of freedom, regardless to whether or not I was really committed to a relationship with God or anyone else, was something that I really wanted to hold on to. I finally had some space to grow. I had some space to breathe. I was able to get off of my own self-made pedestal. And I really wanted to hold on to that freedom, And so for some of us, maybe there wasn't this outright commitment with our higher power to do the best that we can. But there was something to be said about an established relationship or partnership with the atmosphere of recovery. Can I say that again? There's something to be said about the established partnership or relationship that we establish with the atmosphere of recovery. And for many people, they've often said a power greater than themselves that they believe could restore them to sanity was the group. They knew they could depend on that group of Narcotics Anonymous meeting on a regular basis. They knew that they could depend on at least an hour, if not 2 hours, of freedom from self-obsession, especially if they came with it in mind to listen and learn. There was a unspoken partnership, I believe, that is established in that opportunity to recover through the atmosphere of recovery. See, some of us, we go so deep. Like I'm reading this and I'm understanding. It's really talking about a partnership with a power greater than we are, right? And about a God, right? But for many of us, that was not the case initially. What we knew about God or a higher power in that sense, our HP, quote unquote, was derogatory at best, what we knew, because we associated it with religiosity. We didn't want to hear anything about the G word, right? Many of us. I didn't mind hearing about it. I just didn't want someone else's higher power shoved down my throat. That's why I like the playing field being leveled in Narcotics Anonymous, meaning that you have the absolute right to your own higher power, but so do I. So don't try to force yours on me, and I won't try to force mine on you. And if we both supposedly have very good higher powers, then we should be able to come and sit in an atmosphere of recovery and be agreeable and kind to each other. Right? And so for many of us, we didn't establish a partnership with a God. We established it, the group, with other human beings, with the atmosphere of recovery. And if that's you, I want to encourage you today. And I want to tell you, you're on the road to recovery. As long as that partnership causes you to want to show up and do the best that you can every day. That is the important piece. And that you continue to honor that commitment because it's self-made. It's not something that someone has forced us into. It's self-made. It's a commitment that we've made to be in this relationship with a power greater than ourselves, with a higher power, with God or with the group or with other recovering individuals. You fill in the blanks because I sense that many of you are there where you need to fill in the blanks. And that may work the whole time you're in recovery, and it may not. There may come a point in time where, like myself, the people that I was depending upon, they started to switch how they flowed in recovery. And I began to see that they were just as human as myself. And I said, making them a power greater than myself could be dangerous. I need to switch this up and get back to what I truly understand a higher power to be. And that was a process of trust and learning as well. Now, I hope that this meditation has been beneficial for you today, because I believe that we all have an unspoken commitment with the atmosphere recovery, and that is suitable for us to have enough encouragement to continue to show up and do the best that we can. You know, we really are out of excuses to use. I just really believe this, that once we have found this program, we're given all of the tools. They are there for us to take and use. We're given all of the tools that we need. We no longer need to use over anything. And so now we're faced with another dilemma. How bad do I want it? How bad do I personally want to continue to recover from the active use of drugs? Yeah. And once you realize that you can go through one bad situation without using, you can go through all the others. And this program, this fellowship is here to help you. Now, I want for you to have a beautiful day on purpose. I have so much I need to do today. And so I'm excited to be with you, but I'm also excited to spend some time with my family, taking care of some household things. So you have a beautiful day, and I will be talking to you tomorrow.